Well, the next stage is Pendulum, and it's off to a great start here for car number 13, which is Horny Racing. Mitchell Horn and Riggin Case. Now, we've already spoken about them a little bit and about the fact that Mitchell's been building this car. And these guys are from Rockhampton, so just down the coast a little way. And unfortunately, they've broken a bit of bunting already, so that's a penalty for them. The first time I saw this vehicle was at Lowmead last year. And Mitchell's been doing a few events, including the Lowmead event and this event, and also the Mackay Off-Road Challenge. Now the Horny team need to be very careful they don't do any damage or knock that tree over there. Now before we get into this stage too much, we're going to cross across and we're going to go to the event organisers. Ross is over there now with Brent Taylor, and they're talking a little bit about what goes into these events.
Brent, what's the story with the rules and the regulations, with the bunting and all that sort of thing? What's the penalties?
If a car or driver breaks the bunting, it's a straight up 10-point penalty. Same thing, we've got pegs around the place as well, obviously attached to the bunting. If they knock one of those over, it's also 10 points. Basically, it's designed to make the guys think a bit, not just go bearing off into the bush and think they can drive anywhere they need to. We try and set the track so they're tight. The bunting obviously plays a very big part of it.
Of course, there's a time penalty as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. All the stages have got a DNF or did not finish time on them. These are set generally fairly liberally, but yeah, some of the stages we do set them quite tight to make sure the guys are having a good go.
Let's run through some of the stages that we're going to see on this weekend.
Right behind where we're standing, the guys have basically got to do what's called a pendulum. Winch up a hill, sort of pendulum themselves across the hill and reverse back down. And some of the bigger trucks struggle with it a bit. We had two fairly sizable trees in the creek before everyone started. They're now no longer there, but yeah, it's part of the stage, unfortunately, and yeah, so that'll finish later this afternoon.
So what goes into these trucks? What sort of work and development do they have to do to actually be able to winch up some of these hills we've seen here?
Look, there's many different sorts of mods that these blokes perform. Obviously winch mods are very important. It is a winch competition, so having a winch that'll handle what you want to do and the speed that they need to be able to winch at is obviously very important. A lot of the blokes are investing quite a bit of money in horsepower these days. The sport's getting faster and faster, so obviously they want to be able to keep up. It's an off-road event, so essentially we want them to be able to do everything that is involved in off-road, which is winching. Your average Joe probably isn't going to do the sort of winching that we do here on the weekends, but certainly speed, GPS, they need to be able to negotiate through tracks. Not all the tracks are completely bunted. We do what's called strip bunting on trees, which is only a small bit of ribbon hanging on a tree. The guys have got to look for those to complete the course. So if you don't look for that sort of stuff, you get very lost.
And you seem to be getting more and more people along to these events as well.
Yeah, absolutely, both competitors and spectators. Spectator-wise this weekend, estimate we had 300 to 400 people here. We got 15 teams from all over the place this weekend.
Well, that was event organiser Brent Taylor talking with Ross. We should also mention that Brad Dukes is a co-organiser of this event as we go to the Hound Dog Racing team.
Shane Marsden and Trent Wust down the hill with a dash of speed. Back out of this stage, about 40 metres to another small climb, and then the finish, the timing marker.
Now, Ross, before when you were speaking to Brent, we were talking about how this stage works, but maybe you can just explain a little bit more about it.
Now, this is a hill climb with a difference. They get up here with a winch. Once they're here, they've then got to go back in reverse. How's that? And then back up this lovely little creek.
Well, thanks, Ross. This is the ARB Rockhampton team trying to negotiate themselves around the backside of that tree. And they're going to reverse into this one as they're doing it.
There we go. Simon Wild and Wild Racing in the big red Nissan. See how he goes. Tell you what, up he goes. Crazy Eyes Winch Mods sponsor this truck. This one looks tidy. He's come up pretty quick. Looks tidy as he comes back down, but he's taken the bunting, so there is a penalty there.
And from what I can work out, it's only the Stockers with Lockers teams that haven't taken out that bunting. And we can see Jesse unhooking that winch ready for the last bit.
Now he's got a major drama because he's got to get on the other side of the tree, which is now laying down. So, what do we do here now? Does the co-driver lift the tree?
Well, Jesse, now that he can help out here if he wants.
Still has to go under the tree. He has to go under the tree. There we go. Under the tree. Away we go. And up we come. Truck number 3, Brokeback Racing, Luke Fairbrother and Nathan about to grab the winch. He's in the right position, but I tell you what, it's very narrow there. Clear winching, and away he goes. He's taken the tape out, but he needs to get to the top of the hill before he can reverse back down. Needs to come a bit more. Now it's real hard to get in reverse there because there's those big rocks. He's managed to do that. Back around the left-hand side, he's clear.
Now the next team here, Ross, is the Rough Nut Racing team of Peter Rowley and Duncan Dando. Now before we were talking a little bit about winches, this truck has a 24-volt high mount winch on it. Now one of the sponsors of this event, and that's Total Off-Road, they do winch modifications, and the winch mod on this truck was done by Total Off-Road, so great to see they're using some of the sponsors' products. As he gets to the top, oh no, breaks that bunting, so there's a penalty there. Let's go over to the scores and see how they finished up. And it's Simon Wilde and Jesse Egan to win that stage on 80 points, but they're sharing the win with Luke Fairbrother and Nathan Rosier, also on 80 points from Brokeback Racing, with Peter Rowley and the Rough Nut Racing team finishing a very close third place.